We've been dancing around it all week, but it's time to finally compare the current king and its challenger to the throne. The DJI Osmo Action can record in up to 4K 60 frames per second, claims to have better stabilization, and has a front-facing screen, which is pretty darn rare in the action camera community. While the GoPro Hero 7 Black comes from a long lineage of action, it can also record up to 4K 60 frames per second and is currently like a cornerstone. Like, action is built on top of the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Which one will come out on top? Let's find out. They're action cameras, they can take it. What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. This is a tough video to make because darn it, I really like both of these camera companies. They both make fantastic small sensored cameras that get way better images than either has any right to. But today, somebody's gotta win and someone's gotta lose. So let's get to the comparisons. It's not a secret, but there are 5 things that a camera has to do to be considered an action camera. All too often, we use the term action camera interchangeably with other similarly shaped cameras that I wouldn't trust in a big wheels convention, even though those are some tough meats. We're serious about action here. These are the pillars of action! Action! First up, image quality. It's easier to define what the Osmo Action can do because they actually tell us what's under the hood. Funny that it's rocking a 1/2.3 inch CMOS sensor that ends up being a 12 megapixel camera with a 145-degree field of view and an f2.8 lens. Like we said in the intro, it can record up to 4K 60 frames per second and can do slow motion at up to 1080p 240 frames per second. It comes equipped with DJI's rock-steady electronic image stabilization and has access to that flat profile for crazy graders called Cinelike D. The GoPro Hero 7, on the other hand, is a cornerstone for a reason. It has an unreported sensor size, which, I mean, in all fairness, is probably the exact same size, if not the exact same sensor as the Osmo Action. It also has a 12 megapixel camera, but it has a selectable field of view going from the widest, called Super View, all the way down to linear, which makes it look more like a normal camera. Now, the Osmo Action does have warp removal, so you can take that away, but it doesn't necessarily have defined fields of view. The GoPro Hero 7 Black can also record up to 4K 60 frames per second and 1080p in up to 240 frames per second. And it has its cool kid on the block name for its stabilization called Hypersmooth. And again, if you're one of those crazy people that wants to grade your action camera footage, this also has a flat image profile. I don't use that because I'm not crazy. Well, how does the image compare? And both actually look pretty darn good. I think the GoPro does much better when you consider taking video of like the sky or scenery. I mean, there's just more pop to the image. But I think the Osmo Action does better on skin tones, like a lot better. Not a little bit, a lot better. So for the image quality, I think it comes down to, do you value recording yourself with the camera, using it as a vlogging type camera, or are you gonna use it to record your sweet action in a chest harness? Like, are you gonna be shredding? Then there's a difference. But frankly, both would hold up for either. They just have different looks to them. The next pillar on this trip is my favorite, ease of use. And both cameras really match up well to each other. Both have fully functioning, large, comparatively speaking, touchscreen interfaces on the back. But what's great about both is in combination with that touchscreen, both have very easy to use and intuitive interfaces. If it has a touchscreen, but it's hard to operate, I mean, that doesn't exactly help anyone out, but here it's really easy to change resolutions, camera settings, and stabilization settings with just a few taps of the screen. I really do like both. Now, when it comes to user interface, this is a straight up draw in my opinion, as neither is really better than the other. And I know what you're thinking, Everyday Dad, the Osmo Action has that front-facing screen. Surely that makes it easier to use, right? Right? Well, I don't actually think so that much. First off, if you use this like an actual action camera, you'll never really be looking at the front of the camera. Like, you'll have it in a chest harness, you'll have it on your helmet. You'll never use this screen. And second, when you do use this for vlogging, there's a serious delay between reality and what the screen shows when you're recording. So the screen isn't actually that usable, unfortunately. I'm really hoping that a firmware update will change this and make it so that the screen does not have that very long delay to it. Next pillar on our list is compatibility with GoPro style mounts and accessories. Well, this is where the video gets awkward. The GoPro, is a GoPro, so it definitely works with its own style of accessories. The awkwardness comes from the fact that the Osmo Action is as close to a GoPro shape, size, and weight as you can actually get without being another GoPro. So much like ease of use, both cameras can use the same mounts, the same gimbals. The biggest difference between both is they have different proprietary audio adapters. Neither camera has a 3.5mm audio in port, but both have little dongles that allow that functionality, and neither of the dongles are cross-compatible even though they both have USB-C drives. Yay, proprietarization. Is that a word? That kind of equally sucks among them, and I do wish the cameras would take a page out of Sony's book and include the audio jack straight into the body. I mean, that's just such a useful feature to have because audio is very darn important. Next up is the absolute most important pillar of the whole bunch. I mean, it's not the most exciting, but it is absolutely a defining aspect of action cameras, and that's durability. Like we mentioned Wednesday, the real revolution of the Osmo Action isn't the image quality at all, it isn't the stabilization, and it's definitely not the touchscreen. There are plenty of other brands out there that have similar features. The thing that lets the Osmo threaten the GoPro is its waterproofing. It's really the only good contender of an action camera that is also fully waterproof, and this is waterproof down to 11 meters, and it does that without any kind of case, while maintaining audio capabilities, which that's a thing that only GoPro has thus far been able to accomplish, starting with the Hero 5 Black. Now that's an incredible challenge. Again, nothing else does this on the market. GoPro continues its excellent 10-meter waterproofing, while again, maintaining good audio levels, but this is the first time in the history of the Everyday Dad that I've made a comparison video where it wasn't just a given that the GoPro would win the durability category. And since it's the most important category, in my opinion, this is absolutely the biggest thing that GoPro needs to worry about in this competition. So going forward, they need to capitalize on this because it's the thing that will set it apart. But to compare these two specific cameras, yeah, they are both bricks. And I have no issue with either when it comes to durability. And last but certainly not least is the pillar that everybody is talking about, stabilization. Like we mentioned in the beginning, both cameras have their cool kid name for their system, Rocksteady and Hypersmooth. It definitely sounds like some third grader came up with those names, but as somebody that has a 7-year-old, definitely okay. And there are some slight differences between the two systems. They both work amazingly well when handheld. Both walking and running show little to no sign of shaking, which is frankly amazing. I mean, it's still, don't let this get by you. It's still awesome. I was literally shocked when Hypersmooth hit the market and I said that the action camera gimbal is dead. I stand by that because I have yet to use my action camera gimbal since the Hero 7 Black came out. And it's amazing to see that the Osmo Action does just as good in handheld situation. Now I have found that when put in a chest harness, the Osmo Action has some weird wobbles involved. It's like a weird thing where it almost looks like optical image stabilization being overpowered by a big bump. And while the GoPro Hero 7 Black isn't perfect, it works much better in my chest rig. Also in low light, the GoPro has problems with its Hypersmooth stabilization, where the Osmo Pocket does slightly better, which is a pretty big deal to some folks. I mean, I don't use action cameras in low light. I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose for me, so it doesn't bother me too much, thankfully. Since both of these function really well in this new category of action vlogging cameras, let's hop outside real quick to see how the stabilization, image quality, and audio work from a vlogging perspective. See ya out there. Welcome to the vlogging test of the DJI Osmo Action versus the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I am so excited to be bringing you this video. I love these kind of cameras. They are some of my favorite cameras of all time. Now I've got them both set to auto. I'm not trying to give, I'm not trying to super set up the DJI and, give it to GoPro, and I'm not trying to put the GoPro over the DJI. So they're both set to auto. There is no color correction. There's no audio correction. This is the audio out of both. This is the 4K 24 out of both. This is the stabilization out of both. I don't know. I just really enjoy action cameras, and I like that there is finally some more competition in the action camera market. Don't get me wrong, I like GoPro. I think since the GoPro Hero 7 Black, GoPro has really turned around what they can do. We're by a street, sorry about the audio, but that's what you get for like native audio when you're not recording externally. But I really like what GoPro's been doing as a company. I like what DJI's been doing as a company. So it's kind of nice to see the two competing with each other in the action camera marketplace. I think both of them in there will make each other do really great things. So yeah, this has been the vlogging test. The front facing screen is really nice when you're doing vlogging stuff, but it is really delayed. Like there's a full second delay as we're doing this. Like it's pretty striking. Okay, vlogging test complete. Back to the video. And we're back. So at the end of the day, so what, right? Which one would I recommend over the other? And we've got an actual decision this time. And kind of. If you want to use this as a mini vlogging camera, I'd probably recommend the Osmo Action, mainly because it makes skin tones look a little bit better, but not like overly well, and that's really the only reason. Again, the front-facing screen is great and all, but it's only so useful because of that crazy delay, and you're not going to be looking at it anyway if you're talking to the camera. For every other use, I'd recommend the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I still think the stabilization works better. It has the better accessory ecosystem that's available today. Like, you don't have to wait for things to be in stock. With DJI, who knows when they're going to be in stock. And I like being able to pick between fields of view instead of just being stuck with one, maybe two, depending on if you have that warping correction turned on or not. Thanks for watching.